This is Deped Cagayan de Oro, now signing off.
Magbasa o magkwenta, ang siyensya, apilonta, natuna pa'y history o kultura, English, Mavi o MTV, Filipino, ESP o EPP. Oras na, magtuon na ta!
Mga bata, maayong adlaw kaninyo. Kumusta na mo?
Ang damay niyong mga gamit, kay magsugod na ang eskwelahan sa kahanginan.
Kini ang Learn O'Clock.
Magtuon kita karon dinhi sa bagong panahon.
Ang mga lapis o papel, radyo, TV o computer,
Smartphone o modules kinahanglanon.
ayaw kalimot sa pag-invite sa imong higala.
Ang pagtuon dili maundang upadayon pa.
Makaton pag-iha, makaton ta pagbasa.
Letters of the alphabet ang atong alpabeto. Sa Learn O'Clock, where learning won't stop. And then andamo ng kaugalingon kay magsugod ng Learn O'Clock.
Hello, kids! A pleasant greeting to you. This is Sir Bayani Rotoras Jr. from South City Central School, Division of Cagayan de Oro City. I am your English 3 teacher for today. Today, we will learn about the tenses of verbs. Can you remember what verbs are? Yes! Verbs are action words. But before we start with our new lesson, let us review a little about your lesson last week. Can you tell me what your lesson was? Last week, you learned with Teacher Joy about the be verbs. How many be verbs did you learn? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. Teacher Joy taught us how to use is, are, was, and were. Again, is, are, was, and were are the 5 be verbs you learned last week. Now let us answer the review exercise found on page 2 of your module for this week. So please get your module 2 and open it to page 2. Do you have now your module? Are you ready? Alright, number 1. I blank good in reading a poem. What is the answer? Correct. The answer is am. I am good in reading a poem. Number 2. They blank volleyball players. The answer is yes, are. They are volleyball players. Number 3. Filipinos are blank hospitable people. Your answer is that's correct. Are. Filipinos are hospitable people. Number 4. Sheila blank a writer. What is the correct answer? is. Shella is a writer. Number 5. This is the last number. Von blank smart. And the correct answer is Von is smart. Great job! Now that we have finished our review, we are now ready for today's lesson. Before we discuss our lesson, let us listen to a wonderful song.
Think about last year, about last week, yesterday. Let me hear you shout. It's already happened, so it's in the past. That's what it's all about. Oh, the past tense. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, the past tense. It's already happened. Rah, rah, rah. Think about today, about just now. Right this moment, let me hear you shout. It's happening this minute, so it's in the present. That's what it's all about. Oh, the present tense. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, the present tense. It's happening this minute. Rah, rah, rah. Think about next year, about next week. Sometime later, let me hear you shout. It's happening tomorrow, so it's in the future. That's what it's all about. Oh, the future tense. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, the future tense. It's going to happen. Rah, rah, rah. Time is split in different ways. Past, present, future. Let me hear you shout. When is something happening, you must decide. That's what it's all about. Past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. When's it happening? Rah, rah, rah.
Alright! Did you like the song? Good! I like it too. Do you understand what it was all about? Well, it was all about the tenses of the verb, our lesson for today. As I have said earlier, verbs are action words. They tell us of the things that we do. Page 3 of Module 2 says that verbs come in 3 tenses. Can you open your module to page 3? Please open it to page 3. Together, we will read the 3 tenses. Are you ready to read with me? The 3 tenses are present, past, and future. Thank you for reading with me, kids. Let us start with the present tense. What is it all about? Well, we use the present tense to tell actions that are happening right now, or actions that are continuously happening. In Bisaya, present tense means karon. To use present tense, we add s to the verb if the subject or the person in the sentence is only one. Take the following sentence for example. He plays the bass guitar. The verb in the sentence is play. The person or the subject is he, and he is singular or only one. So we say, he plays. If there are 2 persons or more, we do not add s to the verb. So we say, James and John play the bass guitar. Did you get it, kids? Let's try another example. Listen to the following sentence. He practices 3 times a week. Again, he practices 3 times a week. Which is the subject of the sentence? Correct. The subject or the person in the sentence is he. Next, which is the verb in the sentence? You are correct again. The verb is practice. We added an S to the verb practice because the subject, he, is only one person. So it becomes practices. Now, let us learn about the past tense. What is it all about? Well, if the present tense means karon in Bisaya, past tense means nahuman na. So, past tense tells that an action has already happened. In past tense, we use time indicators or timailhan kung kanus-a, such as yesterday or kagahapon, last week or adtong miaging simana, and last year or adtong miaging tuig. We make past tense by simply adding ed or d to the verb. Example, play. We add ed. So the past tense of play is played. Another example, practice. We add d. Practice plus d. So the past tense of practice is practiced. If we use played and practiced in sentences, we say, he played electric guitar yesterday, and they practiced last week. We know that the tense of the verb is past because of the time indicators, which are yesterday and last week. So that is all about past tense. Our last topic is the future tense. The future tense is very easy to understand. It tells that an action is going to happen yet. In Bisaya, it means wala pa nahitabo or nabuhat. We can look for time indicators like tomorrow or ugma, next year or sunod tuig, next month or sunod bulan, and later or unya. In future tense, we add will before the verb. For example, will play. Now, what if the verb is the word practice? What is the future tense? Correct. The future tense of practice is will practice. So the following sentences are examples of the future tense. He will play the electric guitar tomorrow. They will practice again next week. So there you have it, kids, the tenses of the verbs. Together, let us say again the tenses of the verb. Are you ready? Go! Present, past, and future. Again, present, past, and future. Great job, kids! Now that you have learned the lesson, it is time for some exercises. I know you can answer this because you are amazing. So, please turn your module to page 4 and let us answer activity number 1. Read with me the sentence and give the correct form of the verb. Are you ready? Let us start. Number 1. I blank the wild boar in the forest next week. The verb is hunt. And the sentence has a time indicator which is next week. So, what is the tense of the verb? If your answer is future, you are correct. So, how does the sentence go? Yes, I will hunt the wild boar in the forest next week. Let's go to number 2. The general blank the war next year. What is the verb? Yes, the verb is stop. Do you see any time indicator? What is it? Yes, the time indicator is next year. So what is the tense of the verb? Yes, the tense is also future just like number 1. So how does the sentence go? Yes, the general will stop the war next year. Number 3. The family blank the film yesterday. The verb is watch. The time indicator is yesterday, kagahapon. So, the tense of the verb is past tense. So, the correct sentence is the family watched the film yesterday. What did we add to the verb? D or ED? We added ED. Number 4. They blank to write a letter to the president. The verb is plan. What is the subject of the sentence? The subject is they or sila. Is it singular or plural? It's plural. So, what is the tense of the verb? The tense of the verb is present. So, what is the answer? Plan. They plan to write a letter to the president. Number 5. Last number. She blank the fish. What is the verb in the sentence? Cook. What is the tense of the verb? It's present tense. How about the subject? What is it? The subject or the person is she. Is it plural or singular? It is singular. So the answer is cooks. So the sentence goes this way. She cooks the fish. There you have it. We finished the exercises. I know you can do it because you are amazing. So that's all for today, kids. Once again, this is Sir Bayani. Until next time, goodbye!
Kini ang DepEd Cagayan de Oro. Salamat sa pagpaminaw.